Do you want to replace the video card of your laptop or a CPU and you don't know how? I'm going to teach you how you can do that. Of course, not all the laptops is possible, but if you have the right laptop or if you want to buy a good laptop and you don't know which one to choose, I'm going to tell you all those things. So here, for instance, as you can see, I'm going to change the camera so as you can see this better. So as you can see, I have a HP. So in this case, this is a HP ZBOOK. So this is like commercial grade, or if you buy maybe another like gaming laptop or something like that, it might be different. At least in this type of laptop, you can replace the video card and the CPU and many other things. You can upgrade it like a lot. So I'm going to show you, for instance, the computer, so that way you can see what I'm saying. And here I have, for instance, we are in Amazon. So as you can see, this is a video card for this type of laptops, as you can see, and they don't look like this. This is for PC. This is for laptops. So they have different format, but that is something that you can get. For instance, here if you have a Alienware, you can get for that. If you have something else, this is HP. Maybe you have to find something like that, but you know, Google is your friend and you can find almost anything. So also here I'm going to show you the CPUs because you want to buy something like that. So as you can see, you type CPU i7 for laptop and then you can find many options. So I don't know which laptop you have, but if you want to do that, you know that is feasible. It depends of the laptop that you have. So this is a video card, you know, for computers, just for regular PC. The desktop PC is not for a laptop, so you cannot install this in a laptop. But I'm going to show you now the inside of the laptop, so that way you can see it a little bit better. So as you can see, this is the laptop that I was talking about, and I took it apart so that way I can clean it up. It was kind of overheating. This is a used laptop that I bought. So if you're outside the United States or you want to get into my group of purchases group, so that way you can buy, you know, auctions or laptops and all those things. I can get you into my group, and then I'll give you all the list of all the providers and everything, and I can send you whatever you want. So, or if you want just maybe one or two, all the information is in the video description of this video. So here is the Heatsink that I had installed in this laptop. So that is how it comes. So I'm not going to show you how to take it apart because it depends. So each laptop, each brand is different. You have different models, but usually all of them are kind of the same. So you have the keyboard, as you can see here. You have some screws in the back, and usually you have to take the way you take the laptop apart is you have to go to the other side. You try to remove the screws, and you will see, for instance, here the screw for the laptop. I mean, for the keyboard, it will tell you where you have to remove the screws. So, like I said, it depends of the laptop. This is more like a general thing, so that way you know how things are. So, if you want to remove the laptop, I mean the keyboard, usually you have to pry here a little bit. Usually, at least with this model, and then after you remove the screws in the back, and then you will have to unplug this cable that goes here and the other cable that goes along the side of this one. So basically that is how it is. As you can see, this keyboard is thicker and more hardcore than the other ones. They are the regular laptops, you know, the laptops that you can get for 300, 400, 600. I mean, they are like all flimsy and everything is soldered, so you cannot replace any of the components. So maybe you can upgrade the RAM and that's it. But in this case, you can do almost anything here. So you have to remove the screws, as you can see here, the screw that you have here, the screw that you have here. This is for the CPU, here is for the GPU, so video card. This is the processor. You remove these screws, and then you can take this apart. Remember to use anti-static gloves, or make sure that you don't have any static on your body. Otherwise, if you touch the electronic, you may damage it. So in this case, as you can see, this is all hard, the thermal compound. So I'm going to, if you use alcohol and a cotton, you can clean all this up, and then you can use Arctic Silver. Arctic Silver is a brand that works very good. Here I have it, so you can use the MX4, or if you have to repair miners, that I have another video for this, you can use this, but this is something else. So usually your computer, you don't need adhesive, so it's just this type of thermal compound that should do the trick. After you clean all this up, that should be enough. So I'm going to show you here, for instance, how to remove the CPU. Very easy. Make sure that you have a kit, something like that, or if you can get an iFixit or anything like that, you should be good. I mean, so basically in this case you have the screw that you have to move, as you can see here, from one side to the other. It's just a half turn, that is more than enough. So open and close, or close and open, it depends of your laptop. And here you remove it like that. Here is the CPU, as you can see, and then you put the new CPU, and that's it. So you close it. So on this way is open, on this way is closed. So clockwise, and then you will close it again. That's it. And as you can see here, you will see like a small needle that is on this side or on this side. So it depends, or if it's closed or if it's open. If it's open, it's on this side. If it's closed, on this side. So once you have put that back, and that will, you will be okay. And then on this side, this is start. So in this case, I think is, I don't see the number. I think it's 19. I don't know. So here you have the Phillips. So you have to exchange the tip. In this case, you have to replace the tip. So remove this screw here, remove this screw here, and that's it. So that is how you remove the video card, and then you put the new one, and that's it. So this is how it looks like a video card. So you put it back in, the new one, and you should be set. Make sure it's sitting right. Put the screws the way it should be. Watch out with this connector, at least with this laptop, although you don't want to destroy it. And that's it. At least in this case, it has only two screws. That's it for now. So you put it back. That's it. So another thing that you have to keep in mind when you replace the video card, the CPU, and all the things is this. So I'm going to change the screen so that way you can see. So you see this. This is the heatsink. The heatsink is whatever you have, is wherever you're going to put back, except you can get maybe something better, same size, for a more powerful CPU and GPU. Usually, at least with the GPUs, the newer they are, they draw less power and they produce less heat. Because they produce less heat, you should be good with this. With the CPU, sometimes you put something more powerful, it produces more heat, and sometimes it may use less power or not. But if that is not the case, you're going to have a problem, because you're going to have more heat on the inside of this computer. Things are not going to work properly, so it's going to start working slower, because it's producing too much heat, like you had with the MacBook Pro. They were producing too much heat, and the computer was throttling, and it was going slower than it should. For instance, with the MacBook Pro with the i9, there was a lot of people complaining about that. So it's something that you have to keep in mind. So try to use a very good a thermal compound. Like I said before, don't use a lot. This is not peanut butter and jelly. You're not making a sandwich with the laptop, so try to put as little as possible. You can. I have done these tests before. I put something that I was thinking, well, it should be enough, and I was seeing that the CPU, I mean the temperature, at least with another computer, it was a MacBook Pro. The temperature wasn't right, so what I did, I took it apart, I removed a little bit more of thermal compound, I put it back together, and I was getting less heat. So make sure that you don't use too much, not too little like nothing, but just enough. Maybe just cover the surface of the CPU and the GPU, and you should be good. But like I said before, just do your research depending on the CPU and GPU that you're going to use, and make sure that it doesn't produce more heat that it can handle. Otherwise, you're going to have some issues. Or if you can get something better than the heatsink that you have, great. Otherwise, you're going to be constrained for the heatsink and all the heat that the GPU and CPU is producing. So basically that is all for today. Hopefully this class was useful. If you want to learn more about computer, how to become a computer technician or something like that, you have all my classes in my website, GabakUSA.com. If you have a question, please let me know in the section below, and see you in the next one. I wanted to add something else, so I'm going to change the screen. Something else that you have to keep in mind with this type of laptop, the advantage is that you can add as much RAM as you want. So for instance, here I have 2 sticks. In the other side, we have space for 2 sticks more. So some laptops like this, you may get like 32, 64 gigs. That is a lot. Also, you have the NVMe. So if you want to add 2 more, that is great. Plus you have the SATA. So these laptops, they're amazing. I mean, they are very powerful, and you can upgrade them as much as you want. So that is the good thing about these type of things.